The WASDE came out earlier this week, and Kim, what was the markets like ahead of the report?
Well, if you look at expectations, hard red winter wheat exports were running about 36% below last year's level. The USDA November WASDE had it down 3%, something had to give there. Also, Russian wheat exports were running well above expectations. And the market was looking for some adjustments in Russian export numbers.
There were a lot of times you used the word expectations in there. Did the USDA report actually meet those expectations?
I think they did. As you look at hard red winter wheat exports for the U.S., they lowered that from 360 million bushels down to 320. It's now 14% below last year's projection, or last year's exports. And our exports increased a little bit, so we're running, rather than 36, we're about 31% below last year's level, so we're adjusting there. They also raised Russian exports 55 million bushels. Of course, now to do that, they raised Russian beginning stocks by about 37 and lowered Russian ending stocks by about 19 million bushels.
So with those adjustments in there, does that make it good or bad news?
Well, yes, it does. There's a little bit of both in there. I think the bad news is that hard red winter wheat exports for the U.S. are going to be lower than they were projected earlier, but again, that's expectations. Raising the Russian beginning stocks, 55 million bushels, is more wheat than we thought they had. However, if you look at what's going on, the Russian ending stocks were 436 million bushels last year. They're projected to be 197 million at the end of this year. That's 239 million bushels Russia's not going to have to export in the 1920 marking year. And I think that's good news. Also, Russian exports are well above average. If they keep up this pace, they're going to be through exporting in mid-February, and that's going to open the market for us.
So that's the news around the world. Is that good news for Oklahoma ag producers?
I think that's good news that our export demand should increase late in the year. I think also the good news in those reports is that the world is going to use more wheat this year than we produced last year. We've talked about it before. So all our quality wheat, we came into this last year short on protein. We're going to come into next year short on protein. The market is going to need a high quality protein wheat come June 1. And if we deliver it, we're going to get a good price for it.
So putting all that effort, into last crop is starting to pay off for this crop, and potentially the effort could pay off for the next one?
I think so. And also, you can put in there with the Russian ending stock so low, and the crop condition of their crop right now is not as good as it was last year, and there also some reports say they have less acres. If they lose a crop, we're primed and ready for significantly higher prices.
Okay, thank you much, Kim Anderson. Hopefully we open that present soon. Kim Anderson, Grain Marketing Specialist here at Oklahoma State University.